Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FKA the Pod. I'm your host this week, Trent Tatum, and I'm joined as always by Reed Wilson.
What's up? Turret.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined today as always by Seth Butler.
Hello.
All right. Vote in the comments who won that opening. All right, that's what I want to know. Because
I'm
Seth
so
didn't try
excited.
very hard.
No.
How are you guys? How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing
You guys
great.
doing all right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we have this little thing that we like to do on this show, where we drink things.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any drinks this week?
I do, but Trent. Not only do I have one beverage,
Mhm.
not only do I have two beverages. I have
Okay.
3 soft beverages tonight.
Nice,
I
man.
got water, of course. My daily driver. Love that. My everyday
Roll Tide.
right. I got a little Coca-Cola, 0 sugar. Little
All
pick me
right.
up. Love it. Shout out to the erythritol. I believe that's what's in there. Or actually, it's aspartame. Erythritol is
There
like
you
Steve.
go.
That's
And
a
then I got
country.
Gator Light.
Gator Lot, dude. Are you
Gator.
hungover?
No, but I like to
Okay.
get my electrolytes in because I be walking. On the daily. I
Mhm.
hit like 3 to 5 miles every day, and like I
Yeah.
come back and I'm just like sweaty and tired, and I got a little pick me up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A
Nothing bad with a little electrolyte.
little salty pick me up.
Nothing better than a little bit of Gator Light.
A little salty pick me up was my nickname in high school.
Salty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Seth, what you got today?
Well, your mom's nickname in high school was Dogfish Head, which is what I'm drinking. The Dogfish Head
That
Crimson
sucks.
Crew Red Ale. This is the last
Mm.
of these that I tried to give to our mutual friend Kyle, but he said, "No, you can just take them back, man. I don't want them." So I've got one of those, and then I've obviously got the Ryan Stellhorn Memorial Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey Shot.
Ooh.
And shout out to the Stellhorns for celebrating their anniversary recently.
Oh yeah.
Their wedding
Huge.
anniversary. Multiple years of marriage.
Yeah, I
That's
was just thinking
crazy,
about
dude.
that because it was the day we were leaving at 5 a.m. or whatever, or real early, and we were leaving
Mhm.
that bunk ass cold house that was 100 years old. And I was like, oh, and I ended up buying a Mario game that day, and I was like, oh shit, it was Marteno Day, Mario Day, March 10th,
Martino Day.
and I was like, oh damn, that's. I remember when I bought something on Marteno Day before. It was when we were in Jacksonville at this cold ass fucking house where people were trying to heat up water on the stove to warm the house up. Congrats to them though. They just got married too a little bit ago.
Oh, lots of, love is in the air here on
Yes,
Martino Day.
So
that's
water.
funny.
Shout out Martino Day.
Um, and also, as on the day of recording this, happy birthday to the friend of the pod, Kyle
Oh, yeah.
Richardson. You just talked about him giving you back the drinks that you gave him. So,
Yeah, I try to give him a gift and he doesn't want it. I did text him. I did forget between texting him and now that it was his birthday, but I did text him. So.
yeah.
Yeah, he has
But
one of the
I
hottest
don't have
takes of all
anything.
time on this show.
That's right. It was so hot. You can go back and listen to that episode.
Sorry, guys. I don't have anything to drink this week, but I am wearing an alcoholic hat. All right, this hat
It's one of those hats with the two beer cans on the side.
says Drambuie, which
Oh,
is one of my new favorite liqueurs, and maybe we'll get into it a little bit later. Um,
Hmm.
but cheers, everybody! If you're drinking something, go ahead and take them sips now.
Yeah, cheers.
you
Cheers,
know when you look at
everybody.
those posts, you get those brain teasers every once in a while. Those will come up on your feed and whatnot, and it'll be like, "Oh, you read this word wrong, right?" But it's a word it's like a list of words, and you read them all, and they're all you read them correctly, but
Yeah,
they go back you read all these wrong, but it's they switch the K and the C or the I and the E or something. They scramble them all up, but the beginning and the end was the same. Yeah, I thought
Mhm.
that's what I was doing with your hat. I didn't really read it. I was like, I was breathing. He's got a breathing hat.
Here, let me get close again for you.
That's a
Can you
big
see that?
thing for like
Grant
boomers
Bowie.
to share on Facebook is like if you can do this, you're in the top 10% of people with IQs. And
Yeah,
it's like
dude.
it's like no, you could just like sight words or whatever, which like most
Yeah.
people do.
Or like one
Um,
compound like formula. Or like what kind
oh
of
my god, the sharing of
Yep.
math stuff and then people like
Yep.
debating it. Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's a
My dad.
polynomial, you'll figure it out.
My dad, every time when I was still kind of like in college, in and out of my parents' house, my dad would show me those things all the time. He'd be like, "Look at this," and it would say like, if you can tell me what's wrong with this sentence, your IQ is like 150." And it's just like, Dad, the word "this" is there twice. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, "Have you seen that before?"
You got a good head on them shoulders right there, Trent.
They're
It's
learning you
funny.
good.
Yeah, they learned
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
it's
well
funny.
that math degree for at the college. Gotta convert it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen
So
some
no,
people doing TikTok lives too, where it's like a spot the difference between two things. And it's like,
yeah.
why are we doing this? It's like, this is like stuff you do in like kindergarten or whatever. Like, I just don't,
It's
I
because
guess
it's
people
for
like to feel smart.
kindergartners, because people
Yeah.
on TikTok are children, and that's why, just like Biden wants, we're gonna ban that shit off the face of the United States.
Does
Thank
Joe
God.
Biden
I
want to
did
ban
hear
TikTok
about
now?
that. I heard
Yeah,
about
Joe
that.
Biden said the other day, if Congress puts it through, he'll sign it off,
Oh, wow.
So TikTok might be banned again, maybe, sort of.
I guess, that might not politically hurt him so much because I think that old people are on board with that and young
Mhm.
people don't vote. So, uh, so that's probably just getting him favor, even though, I like a TikTok every once in a while. I watched a little bit of the State of the Union. I did.
I kind of like it.
Um, yeah, he was cracking jokes. He was probably on a cocktail of something.
Yeah, but who's not? I mean, they're all on a cocktail of something because they're 80 fucking years old. They're all 80,
Oh
and they're
yeah.
all super old, and it's way past their bedtime. Like they have
You
that
guys
shit at
want
like
to hear?
seven
Yeah,
o'clock
9
Central
p.m.
Time. Yeah, they're sleeping.
You
Like
guys want to hear my fun fact? I've been sharing this fun fact with a lot of people since I heard it. Bill Clinton, who was
Mhm.
president, 30 years ago, he's younger than Joe
shout out to
Biden and
Eagle.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's insane. That makes
So,
me want to die a little bit.
Shout out the Eagle, though.
yeah, the Eagle. Yeah, you can go back and listen. The Eagle, the Mogul, and what the Celtic. That's old Joe. Old
Yeah,
Joe.
that
Oh my
one's
god, and it's his
well, yeah.
month, isn't it?
It's his month.
March.
Mayo for Sam. Go get yourself a green ice cream. Try to remember what flavor it is. He won't. You know.
Yeah. Ooh,
It's
dude.
green.
Speaking of green ice cream, I did go to McDonald's today,
Mm.
and I picked up two incredible items. The first one was the Shamrock Shake. I
Nice.
think that's kind of it may be the first time or the first time in a very long time that I've had the Shamrock Shake, and it was delicious. All right, I was
It's so
expecting to
good.
be overwhelmed. I was expecting to be overwhelmed with mint, and you were
Yeah.
not overwhelmed with mint. It's
It's
like
very subtle.
slightly minty. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good
Which you might not expect that out of McDonald's, but they have
for
some
sure.
subtlety and nuance. Shout out to that last episode of the pod where we talked about
Uh
that.
huh.
Did a
Uh
really
huh.
good last episode of the pod too.
And then, and then the other item that I got from McDonald's, also subtle hint of cheese flavor. I'm talking half a slice because it was the fillet of fish.
Give me that. Give me that
It was
fish.
so good. I loved it. I I'm a big fan of the fillet of fish sandwich. I know it's probably like 30% actual fish,
Mm.
and 80% tartar sauce.
Right, only 50% of a piece of cheese.
Yeah, and one half of one cheese. But it's delicious. It's
What
pretty
is it?
good.
That can't be saving anything. That's just more. That's got to be more work than it's worth, right?
to split a
To put
piece of
a
cheese
half a
in half.
slice.
Yeah, because there's a whole
Yeah.
process that just putting it on there. Because a piece of cheese, it's not that they're making half slices of cheese; they're just making
Uh-huh.
slices of cheese and cutting them in
Yeah.
half.
And
and they eat the
they
other
got a
piece.
yeah.
What do you mean?
They dip it in the McDonald's sauce. Was this a special McDonald's something or
No, no.
no?
It was just the classic fillet of fish, man.
And like, what do you normally get the fillet of fish, or was this like you were like, oh man, I'm at McDonald's and actually I was gonna get the Big Mac, but the fillet of fish is looking pretty tasty.
Yeah, pretty much. I usually get like the 2 cheeseburgers, but today I was like, you know what? Let me get a fillet of fish. So,
I don't think I've ever actually had a fillet of fish, but
mhm.
before I was a
Same.
vegetarian, as of like 3 months ago, uh, I like a fried fish sandwich. That's like a top tier food. That's
Oh
so
yeah,
good.
I'm never
oh
getting
yeah.
the fish sandwich.
It's
Only way I'm eating fried fish is that if it's at like a golf course or some kind of Elks Club type joint, you know,
That sucks, man. You're
why
missing
those
out.
places specifically?
because it's
They
like
have good
you go
fish.
there and you get all you can eat fish fry on a Friday or something, and then that's all you need. That's all the fried fish I need. I don't need that yellow dude in a coat selling me them frozen fingies,
Sure.
fish fingers.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Um, I'll get down with anything that's fried fish. All right, Seth. When you came to visit Seattle a while
Mm.
back,
Right.
um, we went to a seafood restaurant and got like deep fried salmon fingers,
Yeah.
and they're
Mm.
pretty good. Maybe not as good as regular salmon, but still solid.
It seems like a deep fry of a fish is better with a white fish. I don't really know
Oh yeah,
what a fish stick is most of the time. A cod, a haddock,
Uh,
halibut,
I don't know, man.
tilapia. That's probably a big one.
White fish.
There is a thing called whitefish, but I mean,
Yeah, right,
yeah, I don't know all that much about fish.
for
pollock,
I'm
sure.
I used to live in a landlocked state. Now I live still very far away from the ocean. So
Alaska
Oh yeah,
pollock.
but
pollock,
Yeah, or Tharagra chalcogramma.
Shelka
Seth,
grandma.
Chalcogramma.
you are Seth in prime catfish country,
That's right. Yes.
so
Yeah.
you can get some good
Those are
catfish.
pretty good. I will say fried catfish is pretty good. That's only actually the only way I'll eat catfish, though. I don't
Mhm.
think you could serve me catfish served any way other way
I
besides
don't think
fried.
other. I don't. Yeah, I don't think people serve catfish other ways,
And people aren't making a grilled catfish, I don't think.
like a catfish pasta.
Ugh.
Are there some things we only eat one way? Like catfish, we're only eating fried, but like
Mhm.
potatoes, we're eating this way, that way, the other way. Steamed, baked, broiled, boiled,
They do
bland,
Oh
fried
yeah,
everything
potatoes.
you can do a potato.
for sure.
Yeah,
I think Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts is up there in the one type of way category almost.
what is that? You don't eat them? Like no
You
way.
you roast them,
You
man.
roast them. You don't
Oh,
boil a Brussels sprout. Never.
people
Yeah,
did though.
that's right.
People did. That's why that's why they got the bad rep. Also, they have a
It's
bad rep
fucked
because
up.
they taste bad. They just don't taste good. I'm
Yeah.
tired. Everyone's trying to gentrify the Brussels sprouts. They suck. They're not good.
Mm.
They taste like shit. I'd rather have another one. Another. Give me a broccoli or another cabbage.
I'm
They're all
gonna
just
throw one
equal to
out
me.
here. I think a cucumber, right? You either have it raw or you have it pickled,
Yeah.
which is interesting. No cooking to a cucumber, or you put it on your eyelets. Um,
At least the
Yeah, that
cucumber that
is
we
true.
use, there's I think it's like the Chinese cucumber. That one gets cooked a little bit more, but
mm,
like
I
whatever
see.
cucumber we have, only gets turned into lotion or
They put it with a melon and they turned it into a lotion or a soap. Yeah.
Oh
Um,
man.
anyway, yeah. I don't know how much more we have about fish. I don't
I
know if
got
all of our
we'll go back. I got one going back to ice cream,
okay
or
Yeah,
fish
yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream.
Sorry. Yeah.
fish ice cream, whatever. The last shake I had from McDonald's was the Grimace one, the Grimace shake. So
And you're
Sure.
still here. You're one of the
And it
still
lucky
here,
few.
still alive.
subtly tasted like grimace.
Yeah, tasted like blueberry muffin. But I saw this on social media, and I was asked about this because it's a regional thing apparently close to where I'm from. Have you guys ever heard of Blue Dream ice cream and or Superman ice cream?
Yes, I
It
have heard of
sounds
Superman ice cream.
familiar. It sounds familiar, but I could never tell you what it is.
And real quick, let me just before you maybe spill the beans about what this is. If I walk into an ice cream place, I'm never gonna get the Superman.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna probably get something weird, Like this happens all the time with me and my girlfriend Jill when we go to ice cream places. Is she gets something that's pretty like classic, traditional, but always like chocolate themed, and it's always really good. And then I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna get like the lavender blueberry cheesecake, and then
Let me get the habanero and maple syrup, please.
Let me get you a purple sweet potato.
yeah, I've got that one before. What's that called? Obo,
Taro.
Ozo.
Taro.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it's taro, but there's also another name for it.
there's also something called ube. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of.
oh,
Yep.
Whatever that is. Um, but I think that Superman is just vanilla, but with food coloring. Am I wrong here?
oh, yeah, kind of. So
Okay.
Trent, do you want to take a guess? I mean, I can see why you think it's vanilla with with
Hmm.
like food coloring. Trent, what do you want to take a guess?
So what's the other name for it? Superman or Blue Dream?
No, these are two different ice creams: Blue Dream and Superman. There's
Oh,
two independent ice creams, or
I think they're both. I think they're
independent.
both cotton candy base flavor.
Ooh.
Blue Dream is blue, and it tastes like cotton candy slash bubble gum, and Superman is comprised of one part Blue Dream, what some usually either like red pop, which is like a cherry one, I think,
Ooh.
Okay.
or like it tastes like kind of yeah, it's like a cherry. It tastes like a big red, or like it's kind of strawberry ish. It's red
Yeah.
flavor,
Right.
and then yellow, which is either vanilla or lemon. I don't really know why it's called
Ugh.
Superman. I had it. It's
That's
definitely
tough.
Seth, like you said, not a good ice cream. Like not something I would ever order, but it is one of those weird ice creams. Like, but it's a Midwestern thing. Like I grew up and I got it a couple of times. Like, oh, they got the Superman. Let me try that out. Oh, this sucks. I don't like this. It's too
Yeah.
sweet.
No, that sounds awful.
Give
I
me
will
the
say
chocolate peanut butter. Give me the mint chocolate chip.
I would rather have like the triple sherbet flavor.
Triple
You know what I'm
sherbs.
saying? Where it's like orange, green, and purple or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are cooler colors and
I recognize. I recognize it. I
better
don't.
flavors.
I
Mhm.
don't co-sign it, but I recognize the game.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
you guys walk into an ice cream shop right now.
Mhm.
What are you gravitating towards?
Oof.
This place doesn't have blizzards. I'm going to make that assumption. This is a
No,
non-blizzard
it's
having ice
just
cream.
scoop. It's just scoop, and you can get scoop into a variety of cones, right? The sugar
Mhm.
cone and the
Yeah.
waffle cone, or cup, if you will. Um,
Ooh. Okay.
I'm getting it in a sugar cone. It's going to go in a sugar cone, not the cake
oh, then
cone, not the
toppings
waffle
too.
cone.
Then toppings too. I want to hear about toppings.
All
So
right.
throw away the Trent. I'll go. You can think. You can pontificate.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Throwing away the cake cone. Probably not going to get the waffle. Going to get the sugar cone. It's the one that's in between. That's my favorite one. You know, it's like a sugar waffle cone but smaller. You know,
Hmm.
putting on there peanut butter chocolate ice cream or
Mm.
mint chocolate chip ice cream. That's about it. If I want Moose Tracks, I'll get that at the store and eat it at home. Moose Tracks is on the couch ice cream. Like I'm not going anywhere and eating Moose Tracks. I'm only way I'm eating
That
Moose Tracks is on
honestly,
the couch.
having to chew ice cream in public kind of sucks because you're gonna be making faces.
Yeah.
It's hurting your teeth, right?
One of the things my girlfriend Jill makes fun of me for is like on our third date or maybe even our second date, we went to an ice cream place and I got the blue ice cream. And she was
Oh,
like, that
yeah,
was a very bold decision for you to make
it is a
because
bold
your whole
decision.
mouth is going to turn blue. And it did, you know? So,
Yeah.
Did it taste
Yeah.
like cotton candy?
no, it was like the blue cookie monster. So it's like cookies and cream theme,
Oh,
Oreo
Mhm. Yeah.
situation. So,
What about
toppings.
toppings, Reed?
Probably not going to get any toppings if it's a cone. Hard to put toppings on
Okay.
the cone.
All
Um,
right.
if I was going to Dairy Queen, I would get it dipped. Sure, of course. You know why not? But if I'm getting soft serve, I want a swirl. I don't know if they do the swirl at the DQ.
Yeah.
mm,
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Um, for me, I think I am gonna go with the waffle cone. It's my
yeah.
favorite. It's got a good flavor, and it's bigger. It holds more. Come on.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to get more than one scoop. You know, if you get the sugar cone, you can get one scoop of ice cream and be fine.
Yeah.
If you get the
Yeah,
waffle
that's
cone,
true.
you're signing up for 2.5 scoops of ice cream.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, so my initial thought
Mhm.
was to get some sort of chocolate peanut butter situation.
Okay.
Mm.
I think that's probably my number one. But also lately, I've kind of been a sucker for ice cream that has nuts in it. So like you're
Doesn't
talking
explain that.
like a buttered pecan situation, or like there's one that's
Salted
something
caramel,
with walnuts in it
like turtles.
is really good. Yeah. Or like a pistachio. I'm kind of a pistachio ice cream fan, right? So
Okay.
alternatively, one of those three. Um, and I think all three of those would go really good with like a salted caramel drizzle. So I would do something like that. I think that's
Okay.
where I'm at. Yep.
Yeah. Um, sometimes this is unfortunate. Sometimes this is a good thing. I'm probably going to go in there and I'm going to say, look, I've seen vanilla before. I've had it. It's good. I've seen chocolate before. I've had it. It's good. Um, so I'm going to look at the edges. I'm going to say, what's the weirdest thing you got here? And that's probably what I'm going to get. And oftentimes I am disappointed, but sometimes I'm like, this is good. Otherwise, if there's nothing like new and weird, I do love a mint chocolate chip. My favorite milkshake is probably from Cookout. It's the Oreo mint, which
Oh yeah,
is
Ooh,
that one's
yeah.
gangster. I love that one.
fantastic.
It's a bitchin'
Um,
blizzard flavor too.
yeah. Um, or just chocolate. And I would like ideally little cookie dough bites on the top,
Mhm.
maybe. Um, but other than that, not maybe Oreo crumble. But besides that, uh, no toppings really.
I didn't pick toppings, but I got a sleeper one. Heath.
Mm,
Heath's a sleeper.
that's
It's
good.
real good. It's a good topping. I don't think I'll ever eat a Heath bar, but I
I
love
was
little pieces of Heath on my ice cream.
I was just about to say I will not eat a Heath bar because it's like you're like putting in the
Yeah,
work there.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
like just did a full
Well,
work day to eat this thing.
here's my thing.
Yeah,
Here's my thing with a
you know, the
Heath bar,
J on the
bro.
Heath bar.
A Butterfinger is just like a better peanuttier Heath bar,
Yeah,
right?
maybe, but like, nah, Butterfinger's weird. I go in and out on liking those because they're flaky. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really understand how a
Well, I mean, they're
Butterfinger
a
is
good
made.
ice cream topping. Crumble up some
Oh
Butterfinger,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, sure.
Like a Heath bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't want that peanut butter. Sometimes I just want whatever the hell Heath is,
Mm.
toffee.
Toffee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want
that's
that.
true.
Similar on the lungs, I'll never eat one. You ever had 100 grand or a payday?
Oh, I've had a payday. Yeah.
I've never had either of those. No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't remember ever eating
That's
those.
kind of like an old school candy bar. Like I think there's
Mhm.
also like a Take Five, I think, is like kind of in a similar vein. Or a Baby Ruth. I don't think I've ever had a Baby Ruth.
Oh, I've had one. I don't remember it all. I think that one's just pretty bland. That's
A
boomer
Baby
chocolate.
Ruth. I think a Baby Ruth is like a payday covered in chocolate. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
I fuck with my favorite old candy though is the Charleston Chew. I think we talked about this a few times. At least the Charleston Chew is gas.
Yeah.
But that's also
Interesting.
you're also
Interesting.
putting in the work on that one. It's like you're eating. Oh, and
That was kind of
speaking of
funny.
how Brussels sprouts are gentrified or whatever, I think pistachios also got the overratedness on them. They had a pretty good marketing campaign, but like they don't taste that good. They're
I like
definitely
them.
the worst nut in the mixed nut combo. Unless you're going deluxe mixed nuts, then Brazil nuts are not good.
I
Yeah, Brazil
think
nuts are
that
tough.
I think pistachios are bad for the environment, and I think that they're difficult to eat unless you get the shelled ones. And I think if you get the shelled ones, I think you're kind of a pansy. But I think the best nut is the peanut. It's the working man's nut.
Not
It's
even a
not a
nut.
nut.
Best nut though.
We've already
See,
talked about the best nut. We had a full fucking episode named after the best nuts. All
we do a
right.
nut tier list.
I
Did
think
we go
so. I
nuts
think
for
we
best
did
nut?
nuts on a tier
We
list.
definitely talked about nuts for sure.
That's nuts, bro.
You can't podcast for 4 years and
And not
not
talk
talk
about
about nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to cover nuts. So
But
one thing we like to do. Oh, you had a transition
hazelnut
here.
also
no,
very
I
bad.
was just gonna say, Reed, I initially went into this McDonald's topic because you wanted to talk about fish in how they relate to Lent.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about this on my drive home. That like it's whatever this period of time now, like end of February through March, a little bit of May. This is
Mhm.
like prime innovation time for all fast casual restaurants. They're like, we got to get a fish dish, got to get a fish item out there.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah.
if I had time today, I would have prepared some like other attempts. Like what the hell is Subway's fish option? What is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
tuna
It's
salad.
probably bad, right?
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that Ryan, actually, former co-host, loves the Subway tuna salad. He loves tuna though.
Oh
Um,
man, tuna salad in particular, like canned tuna, is just
Yeah, growing up,
incredibly bad.
Canned fish also, or tinned fish, is having a moment
Mhm.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
good moment,
I don't know.
bad moment.
Yeah,
I think
good
good.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. Obviously, I'm kind of out of the tinned fish game at the moment.
How about
Being
the pouch fish greater than tin fish?
ugh.
They,
What's
What is
pouch?
pouch fish?
it's like a little pouch of the. It's the same shit that's in the can, but it's in a pouch. You know.
Oh, like the
Cat food.
processed
I guess the canned
stuff.
fish is like cat food too.
Well, we're talking about tinned fish where it's like
Tin
not all
fish.
shredded up. It's like full little fishies and stuff in there, right? Like
Oh, what?
sardines.
I never popped one of these things open. I don't know.
Sardines. You never had sardines?
No,
No, this is a Futurama episode.
never
Bro,
ever.
what?
Not even like on a pizza. No.
I think I'm discovering that
In the
that my
anchovy.
family my family was more poor than I remembered.
I think it's a southern thing too. Apparently, my grandpa, who I never saw him do this, but apparently he used to just eat them. He put them on like a Ritz
Yeah.
cracker.
You put them on a cracker, put some hot sauce on them. I used to do that too with my dad all the time.
I think that's a southern old person thing. I don't,
Okay.
That's a poverty snack.
but I've never done it. I don't
Uh,
really want to, but
It's not bad.
the only time I've ever had anchovies is on accident. Like I got a Caesar salad that made it with real, real ingredients, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah.
never give me
You
this
ever had
again.
the you ever had the Caesar at De Palma's?
Yeah, yeah, and I did not like it. It's too authentic for me. Get that shit out of here. Don't put no fish in my salad dressing. Want that fish free.
Oh yeah, dude. Speaking of really quickly, we were talking about how this is the time for fast food restaurants to innovate. This isn't
Mhm.
fish, but I did see that KFC came out with a pizza, but made out of chicken.
Pizza.
They're calling it the chizza, but I think I like chizza better.
Jeez.
Chizza
Shout out,
sounds cooler to
you
Just,
know, about kill your ex.
me. Anyways, do what?
Apparently, it's like a chicken parm, and I can
Oh,
see that
interesting.
because
Yeah,
it's
I guess
just
so.
fried chicken with sauce and cheese on it. It's a
Yeah,
pepperonis.
right. Yeah,
so
interesting.
I did find an article on Today. This is just listing all of the Lent special fish items at fast food restaurants that I could just read through real quick.
Oh hell yeah.
And these are not all special. Like on here is the fillet of fish, which they always have, I think.
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, there's also the spicy or the fiery big fish at Burger King. So they always have the big fish, but I think the fiery big fish is new. White Castle is doing this cute little tiny fried fish sandwich, like in the same style as their little
All right.
burgers.
Sliders.
Yeah. Popeyes is doing fish. I don't know if that's new. They always have popcorn shrimp, but they're doing a sandwich now.
Hmm.
Wendy's, I think, always has fish. Arby's has a fish sandwich.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Arby's fish sandwich is good. It's a good fish sandwich, dude. It's a big piece of fish. It's a big one. It's a big piece. Right? Most bang for your buck. What do you mean? What do you mean, boo? Jesus Christ. You guys need to try more fish sandwiches out
I gave
there.
you the full play out of the boo sound effect. That's like a 15, 20-second one.
This one's pretty funny. Bojangles, they're offering a fish sandwich, which they're calling the Bojangler,
Hardly know
as
it.
in like angler, like a
Angler? Yeah, that's
fisherman.
good.
It's not bad. So it's the Bojangler.
Yeah, nice.
And that's it. So
Nice. That's not as much as I thought. I figured there would be. Well, I mean, you can't include like full on seafood, like fast food seafood restaurants.
Captain D's. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how fast food seafood restaurants exist at all because they don't near me. I will say that. Maybe
What
it's a good better
the?
technologies, but they
What's
don't
your
exist.
deal, man? Why are you hating on seafood so much, man?
I don't know.
He's,
Maybe
he's from he's from a freshwater
yeah, I'm at the freshwater
area.
place. I'm landlocked right now, sort of. You think I'm gonna trust Captain D's or Long John Silver's? I don't think so. But where's like the fish tacos at Taco Bell? Or because
That's
that
a
would
good
be
question.
Yeah, that's
electric.
huge.
If I ever
Yeah.
see cycle move, if anyone ever ordered the fish taco in front of me, I could get that.
Wait, you
Honestly,
just
dude.
said they should have it, but also it's psycho if somebody gets it.
Oh yeah, it's a psycho move litmus test for sure. If I'm with you and you order the fish taco from Taco Bell that doesn't exist but could exist, like
I'm
you're a crazy person.
huh. I feel like I'm 90% certain that
Straight jacket.
growing up there was a half Long John Silver's, half Taco Bell, kind of close to me.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
So
Gotcha.
you do your own,
I'm
build your own.
pretty sure they had a situation where you could get a fish taco. I never did it though, because my parents didn't like going to Long John Silver's for some
Yeah,
reason.
good. Good. You know what? Shout out.
But they were big fans of Captain D's. Big fans.
That's
Hey, so if you're practicing Lent, celebrating Lent, whatever it might be,
we got Lent
um,
practice 3:30 to 5:30 in the field house.
so you're supposed to give up something and then also not eat meat, or like you're just generally supposed to not eat meat, except meat doesn't include fish on like Fridays, I think is something.
Yeah, it's really, really weak Ramadan. It's like really, really easy Ramadan. Like
Ramadan just happened as well,
it's
as
happening
far
right
as I
now.
know.
It just
Oh,
started like on Monday or Sunday. Like, Ramadan Mubarak, by the way. Everyone shout out if maybe, you're listening. I doubt it, but maybe why not? Oh yeah, it just started. Like they can't eat during when the
Like
sun's up at all.
all day. Yeah.
And they just got boned by daylight savings time too. And
yeah,
like so like
Oh
they
yeah.
can't eat or drink when the sun is up. They can only eat and drink when the sun is down.
that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
probably pray some too. I don't know. They
There
pray
were
like
there were a couple kids on my high school football team that celebrated Ramadan, um, and it was always like really tough for them at football practice.
all
Yeah,
the time. Ugh.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then I think and a lot of people be fasting. Fasting's like a pretty
people be
safe sleep.
fasting.
People be fasting, but like us Christians, or actually you Catholics rather, uh, who do the Catholics. I don't know.
That was like, who you calling Catholic?
What do you call who? Yeah, they just got it on easy mode, or like they pick one day to not eat meat, but they eat the rest of the time. But I think like the real
Yeah.
Orthodox folks don't eat anything meat the whole time. But like
Mhm.
I don't know, meat's not that
Yeah.
hard to give up. I mean, you guys are already doing that. Like so, like what's Lent for you
Yeah.
guys? Nothing. It's easy mode.
Well, I don't partake. And I think that this is like, I don't know, I don't know if this is a big thing in the Protestant world. I didn't really go to church very much, and I don't currently go to church. So like maybe it is a bigger deal than I think it is. But I think sometimes there were like I had a friend who gave up stuff for Lent, but I think that's just because his parents made him do that when he was younger.
You give that shit up.
Um,
You're giving up your video games this month because you did bad at school.
Yeah. No. I also grew up Protestant, well, kind of Baptist, right?
Baptist, Protestant. Don't worry. You can
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
big
You're right.
umbrella.
But
Shout out to Martin
anyways,
Luther.
I only ever did Lent in solidarity with my Catholic friends.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like
okay.
a religious thing for me. It was like, I wonder if I could do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good excuse to give up something. I think everybody could do with going 40 days without something that is like not
Yeah.
helping them very much, like drinking soda or whatever. That's like Like that's kind of a big one. Like giving up like chocolate or whatever. Like these are things that are not going to hurt you.
I should probably give up guacamole right now. I've been on a guacamole kick. I've been eating like one little prepackaged like Costco pack of guacamole every day.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Reed. I should give up eating apples every day.
Bro, I mean, guacamole is not an apple. It's a little bit different here.
Yeah, but it's also not bad for you.
It's a healthy fat.
Yeah, come on.
It's a superfood, probably. I feel like superfood really used to be
So
reserved.
I'm a better person than most people because I'm eating guacamole every day.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. You are. I think a lot of the world probably eats guacamole every day.
Yeah, you're
And
probably
those are my
right.
people.
Yeah. um. So besides Lent, there's some other things that are happening. We like to talk about the zeitgeist. There are other zeits that are geisting.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
Um,
like what, Seth?
such as potentially the
Uh-huh.
March Madness tournament, which starts soon.
Ooh.
Oh,
All
Which
right.
this
I
year
wasn't
there,
expecting that. That wasn't on our
yeah,
that wasn't on
no,
our
no,
doc.
no, it wasn't. I just wanted to, and I don't know how much you guys have done
are we in it?
research into this. Coming up with, we will be in it.
All
Yes,
right, then we're gonna win.
Huge.
it's a
Huge.
lock that we're in there. I think our prediction is that we'll be a 4 seed, which is not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's usually the spot where a winner happens.
Were we a 1 seed ever?
I think we were a
Yeah,
one
last
seed
year.
last year, and we
Oh,
lost in like our
we
second game.
did not
So
do well.
That's what we don't want.
I want to throw out a couple things here. So I want to throw out some people who are like very low seated or predicted to be, and see if you guys have any suggestions for people who you think might perform better than expected here. Because obviously, all of the people who are normally represented, the Duke, the Gonzaga, stuff like that, are
Yeah.
represented. I want to get your takes on some of these weaker teams who aren't normally there, maybe people you've never heard of. Then I also want to talk about some of the locations that they're playing these games, because let me tell you, they're not really being hosted in like, they're not all in like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, New York. It's like there's some kind of weird ones here.
Like Indianapolis, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's start there. So yeah, there's a game in Dayton, Ohio, a couple games.
Ooh,
Um, which I don't know if that's on the top of anybody's like to visit list. There's some games in in
I
Brooklyn.
write up the whole state.
There's some games in Brooklyn. There's some games in Charlotte. There's some
Nice.
games in Indianapolis. There's some games in Omaha.
Oh, that's where Creighton plays or is from.
Yeah, so that's that they're the
Good.
host for those games. Some games in Pittsburgh, which I hear is very nice. I feel like it's hard to have a good rep if the name of your town is Pittsburgh.
It's all right. It's a lot. There's a lot of hills and like one-way streets. My buddy used to live like on this one house at the bottom of like the world's worst street. It was like a 70-degree hill that was cobblestone. So like
Oh
it would just
god.
destroy any car that drove down it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
We got some games in Salt Lake City.
Oh, Utah! Shout
All
out!
right.
Where's that? Where BYU is?
That's where University of Utah is.
Oh,
The
what's
Utes.
the
Uh, like probably like 30 miles, I
difference?
think.
Well, Utah Utes is where the Sinners go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're allowed to be religious because they're like state run
It's the Protestant one.
theoretically. We've got Spokane. We've
Yeah.
got shout out to you, Trent. I don't know how far away
That's
that is.
Gonzaga.
Um,
Oh,
that one's actually hosted by the University of Idaho.
no, Utah.
Oh, wait.
It's in the wrong state.
Huh? That's crazy. Okay.
Memphis, Dallas, Detroit, and Los Angeles, and then the finals are in Phoenix. So
Interesting. That's cool.
anyway, these aren't as bad as I thought, but I saw the first games that are being played in Dayton, and I was like, oh, that's not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Phoenix gets a lot of good sports when it's like off times. They get like they got the Super Bowl last year. They have like the waste management golf thing where people get real rowdy at. But
Oh yeah, I heard about
spring
that.
training,
Yeah,
isn't that in Arizona too? Like
Yeah.
people love going to Arizona when like it sucks everywhere else. That's
yeah.
big
Yeah,
time for Arizona.
for sure. Yeah.
And then
Florida's kind of the same way too.
But it's muggy, you know.
Yeah.
Us
Yeah.
yeah,
white folk, we like a dry heat, you know.
it's dry heat. Yeah. I want to throw out some of these teams who may be competing. Obviously, we don't know yet. They announced these things on Sunday after this podcast airs.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Shout out
but, but
St.
we've
Patty's
got
Day.
we've got big basketball heavyweights such as Colgate University.
Mm.
Oh yeah. They've been there before.
We've got Toledo.
Is Loyola gonna be there?
I hope so, man. We've got UC Irvine.
Cool. I guess.
Loyola apparently not going to make it this year. We've got Longwood though.
Oh, Longwood. We got to root for Longwood.
My nickname in high school.
Come on.
uh, we've got McNeese State.
Okay. All right.
We've got Princeton. They might make the cut this year. Some smart kids
Okay.
out there.
Sure. Yeah. They don't need basketball. All right. They got
No,
their own fucking thing,
they're fine. They're fine. We
pretending
got
to be smarter than the rest of us. Sorry.
Grand Canyon University.
Damn. Aren't they like non-accredited?
They've got some shooters out there though. I guess.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know what you meant by that. I was like, oh fuck. Oh man.
And then we've got Quinnipiac, who you may have heard of. They're famous for doing their presidential polls.
Yeah, they gotta go. They got a big poll. They're a big polling group. Shout out Quinnipiac.
um, so yeah, I don't know. Some teams to watch out for there, I guess,
Yeah,
who you've never heard of,
cool.
who might
Yeah.
show up big in a game against like Duke.
You know, I
Yeah.
think
Oh
this
yeah.
could be a good year for women's March Madness. We got the rising star Caitlin Clark. She's been kicking ass.
Shout out to
Oh
Iowa,
yeah.
go Hawkeyes!
Mhm. And I think the LSU team still got some hitters on it from seasons past. So I think those could be pretty good again. Get some good uh, dog whistles going on for sure around those games. That'd be pretty great. And some good competition. I think it'll be good. Hot take
Yeah.
women's
Yeah.
sport getting better.
I'm excited. I'm excited for both March Madnesses this year. I think I'm just kind of getting to the age where it's like, damn, I wish there was something to watch. You know?
I wish I
So
had something to watch right now. I'm gonna,
yeah.
you know what? And I've always given the same amount of attention to both women's March Madness and men's March Madness, as in I don't watch any of the games.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like unless I'm with people who are watching them, I don't watch them at all. I've never been like, I'm gonna go put on college basketball. I want to see
Yeah. Right.
who be bad
Yeah.
at basketball.
I don't have cable, so hypothetically, if I wanted to watch a game, hypothetically, I'd have to stream it illegally. Hypothetically,
Allegedly,
on
I heard Stream
Minecraft.
East has pretty good services. I've heard on alleged sources such as Minecraft and Roblox and all that.
Yeah.
That's
So
where if I
if
were
I
in that situation, which
right,
I'm not,
sure,
I would do that, but I'm not because I have cable.
I would probably just go to like Buffalo Wild Wings and get the fries.
That's good too. And then
The
you
the,
get all the
the
games.
yeah, I'm watching 10 games right now.
They might have cauliflower wings. Those count. Those are real.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of basketball, you've seen this trend that's going on social media, the done with the 90s trend.
Oh, we're done with the night. Well, good thing. I mean, it's been gone 25 years now. It hasn't.
Done with the 90s.
No,
The
I haven't seen
NBA
this. I have
This
not.
is actually this is a basketball related uh topic, and it's people are we're done with the 90s. We don't give a shit about Michael Jordan anymore. LeBron's the GOAT. And thank God. I've been saying this for years. I finally feel vindicated because they're showing picture like video recordings of 90s basketball and there's Scooby Doo running around. They're surprised by the most basic of all dribble moves. they're just missing bricks. They're calling like 2-point shots, like a mid-range like 2-point shot, a long-range shot. Like no one's taking threes. People are
Okay.
bricking shit. People are airballing. They're running around terrible. Like no one's playing defense. No, people don't even have their hands up. Like it's the same. Like, people don't always play defense now, but like even when
Yeah.
we are playing defense, it's nothing. Like people are just uncontested. So it feels good that we're done with the '90s. LeBron,
Wow.
and they cut they show some bum ass shit, and they cut it in with like D Wade and LeBron doing some sick ass dunks and alley oop plays, or just like or some just like random scrub player from like right now doing shit that was way cooler than they were doing in the '90s. So
Yeah.
Chino Hill's
Okay.
better than the
Interesting.
Pistons.
I'm behind that. I'm behind that. That sounds cool. I was hoping you'd say we're done with the '90s, and then it just like cuts to like 2003, and everybody's shorts are like halfway down their shin.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they're just huge jeans. I guess that's like that's the end of the '90s. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
Jinkos.
So I saw some content recently, and
Mm,
I thought this was really interesting. So today, right, we've got like the best cameras ever made.
yep.
We got like I don't know how many Ks now, right? We got 4K, 8K, um, and yet all of the pictures that we take at today's sporting events just aren't as cool as they were back in the day. And the reason for this is because back in like the 80s and even in the early 90s, you could smoke at live sporting events,
Mm.
which gives like this really cool atmosphere. You've got like some blue smoke behind, like in some like Muhammad Ali boxing photos and stuff that are like really cool. It's because there's like smoke in the air.
And
And
everyone taking
so,
the picture was cooler because they were smoking.
yeah, yeah. So there's smoke
That's
right
right.
in front
Yeah.
of the lens that gives it this really cool grainy feature.
That's
Um,
why we always look the coolest, like
Mhm.
in our bar photos,
right.
because
Yeah.
we're always smoking
Like
cigs. Yeah.
ripping heaters, nonstop heaters all the time. So just something to look out for. You know, we might be done with the '90s, but I think that the swag that they had back then. I don't know if people use the term swag anymore. Probably not.
Oh yeah.
But the short shorts when you're playing basketball, the goggles when you're playing basketball, your coaches wearing like oversized suits to the NBA draft and stuff like that. You might be better players than those guys, but like I don't think that you can compete with like, you know,
Yeah, with the
having a
untailored
cig and
suit.
drinking a beer at halftime. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Love a nice
Yeah.
ill-fitting suit. But similarly, this wasn't on the docket. I didn't plan to talk about it, but I will now because we're talking about cameras and old stuff. Dune 2, the most recent movie that came out, was shot on like digital IMAX. Like it was shot IMAX digitally. Like
Hmm.
originally they shot it in like a really high frame, like high fidelity digital camera. They then transferred it over to film, and then they transferred it back to digital. So that way you could get like some of like the effect of like the blurriness or like some of like the
Hmm.
I don't want to say distortion, but like some kind of effect that film gives it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Interesting.
there's some hinting to like shit being cooler back then. Not just because they were smoking cigarettes, but like also because film's got some properties that other shit has. That's why like Friends and Seinfeld looks good, but like all the stuff from like 2003 to 2000 and like 8 looks like dog ass and like
Oh
doesn't get
yeah.
messed because it's all shot on digital cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
interesting.
interesting. Hey, I think at some point, right,
Mhm.
I would just like to see this maybe. They make all those Apple commercials where it's like some really cool thing that's like shot on iPhone. They need to just like do a whole movie, right? They need to record it with the regular cameras, but also just have an iPhone going the whole time and see if there's like, can you really tell a difference between Dune 2 on iPhone and Dune 2 with this really weird,
Yes.
like, really?
Yeah.
I guess when you blow it up to like movie screen size proportions in the theater, but like for me, if I'm watching it on my phone or on my TV, which is not that big, like I don't know if you would be able to tell.
I mean, Denny
My
Villeneuve
two
did
cents.
say that you should go see Dune 2 on your phone. That's definitely what he said. So it's the best
Yeah.
viewing experience.
Maybe for Dude 2 it wouldn't work, but maybe for I don't know. What's
For
like a
Kung Fu
modern
Panda
day
4,
sitcom?
absolutely, you could watch that shit on your
Abbott
own.
Elementary or some
Sure.
kind of just
Yeah.
like TV show,
Oh,
30-minute
yeah.
TV show on a network that you don't need to watch on the movie screen.
It doesn't need to be in 4K. What do you need 4K Abbott Elementary for? What do you need 4K Friends for? You don't. 1080p Friends is all you need.
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah. So it's also you mentioned Trent. It's St. Patrick's Day coming up
Yeah.
as well.
That's why I'm wearing
Um,
green.
no, no, no. Yeah, we're all wearing
I'd
green.
I'd pinch you guys right now.
Nice. Where are we at on
Let's
your
not.
screen? You
Yeah,
pinching up?
Yeah,
Pinching
yeah.
down?
off camera.
Are there any St. Patrick's Day? I mean, we touched on some Shamrock Shakes and stuff earlier. I don't know if you got any
We're
other
gonna dye the
Yeah.
river green.
Irish theme
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah. Totally. We do have some St. Patrick's Day traditions that I do have pulled up that we can talk about a little bit.
Mm.
Um, but also, I do want to say before we get too far off of like the old movies idea, stick around for next Monday's episode because I do have a little VHS tape review coming up.
He's
All
holding a
right.
VHS up, but it's backwards, so he
It's
can't see it. So
backwards,
it's
so you don't know what it is. Anyways, yeah, stick around for the Monday episode for that one because it's going to happen, and maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be shit. Who knows?
I
But
just want to say
anyways,
real quick, since you're holding that up, it just surprised me again because, like I mentioned on a previous pod, like I used to think VHSs were so big because I haven't seen one in 20 years. They're tiny, but
that's
like
right.
last time I saw a VHS, I was very small.
This is like maximum
Dude, so I
7 inches
know
long.
what it is. I know what the movie is now.
Oh
Yeah, I
shit!
know, I know what it is too, but it's a good one. I'm excited to talk
Dang.
about.
Oh,
Oops.
here, real quick, before we do this, I just think VHSs were way cooler back in the day because I was smoking cigarettes when I was 5.
My VCR smells like cigarettes, which makes it so much cooler.
All right, all right. Well, I'm on this website called parade.com, and they have an article that's titled 17 St. Patrick's Day Traditions to Help You Celebrate Irish Pride. I've looked through this list. Some of them are just freaking stupid, but some of them are maybe okay. All right.
Okay.
So, starting off strong with number one, we've got eating corned beef and cabbage.
Ooh.
And bacon, it says as well, Irish bacon. Um, yeah, not much to that. I love a good corned beef though.
I like it hashed. I don't think I'll ever really eat it any other way.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I used to like a corned beef. I don't particularly like a cabbage though. So I mean the British Isles not really renowned for their food, to be honest.
yeah,
So,
right.
No,
But I mean, corned beef is pretty good. All right,
fish and chips though, shout out.
fish and chips. Love fish and
fair
chips.
enough. Fair enough.
The way white
Um,
people cook cabbage, not a fan.
tradition number two is rocking shamrocks. Not a
Okay.
surprise, I guess.
They're just wearing green.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a separate tradition actually.
Oh,
So.
okay. Good.
Number three, we've got drowning the shamrock. So apparently, it's kind of like a common tradition to like on your last glass of whiskey, you toast with everybody else, and you drop a shamrock in your glass of whiskey.
I'm just gonna cut the line on this list and list some good ones. Green beer, dying the
Green beer,
river green,
that's going. Dying Chicago River Green, that's on this
green,
list. Enjoying some
neon
Guinness.
green.
Guinness is big.
Having a car
What else?
bomb. Shut out. Like,
Looking
ugh.
for
Hey,
The
it's
the
looking for
drink, the beverage, the
oh yeah,
beverage.
looking for leprechauns, pinching anyone who isn't wearing green. We have wearing blue, apparently, according to
Oh,
the Smithsonian. St.
yeah,
Patrick was depicted in imagery as often wearing blue garments.
yeah. You're getting picked on. You're not going to the leprechaun party. You're getting pinched, and
Yeah,
everyone thinks
yeah.
you're a dweeb for wearing blue.
chasing snakes around. St. Patrick famously chased all the snakes out of Ireland.
Mm.
Oh, nice. We've got Irish step dancing. That's a big one.
Nice.
What else? What else? Uh, Soda bread apparently is a big Irish American thing to do.
There's soda bread.
Eating
Yeah.
soda bread. And that's about it. There's also this last one here says staying sober because a lot of people who actually celebrate St. Patty's Day are Catholic
L
and are doing Lent. So
L for Lent.
yeah, Lent.
Yeah, that's
Everyone knows St. Patrick's Day is just Cinco de Mayo in March. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
excuse to get fucked up. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this before, but like Bastille Day, people don't generally celebrate it, but I think that has huge potential to fill this void again in June or July, whenever it takes place. But you would just drink wine, drink cheap wine, and eat like a baguette. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really
Yeah,
cool, actually.
the real, baron of holiday drought, July 14th.
Yeah, that's probably the issue,
Yeah,
but
and it's a different country's independence. You know what? We just got off.
hey, that's what Cinco de Mayo is, kind of. I know that we misinterpret it, but
Oh, they won a battle one time like that day, right? We just like it because us folk can say it. And we can call it Drinko de Mayo.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
If it was like, Binti Seis de Mayo, I don't know if it would have as
Yeah,
much
they
play.
wouldn't have that traction. Catorce de
Yeah.
Mayo doesn't work.
Catorce de Mayo. Yeah. So, anyway, shout out to the Irish listeners or anybody who a lot of Americans. There's some really interesting stats out there. I don't know if people care about this, but like that ranks countries based on how many people live in that country versus how many people of that descent live in the U.S. And Ireland is one of the countries where there are fewer Irish people than there are people of Irish descent living in the U.S. specifically. There are a couple other ones like Poland and stuff
Poland
where
has
it's like
Sure, yeah.
Chicago has the most Polish people outside of Warsaw.
where these are countries that play big in the U.S. and Ireland is one of those. So shout out to a lot of Americans who are Irish. Shout out to the Irish. Mayo for Sam, I guess. I don't really
Mayo
know what
for
that
Sam.
means, but
Yeah, it's like a thing. I know Biden said it one time. And he
yeah,
loves being Irish. So he's got that thing. Yeah, people take a lot of pride in being Irish, similar to the way they take a lot of pride in being Italian.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Dude, I
Mhm.
I uh I recently went on this date with a girl,
Nice.
and on this date
Nice.
on this date she asked me, she said, "What kind of white are you?"
That's funny.
And I was like, honestly so white that I've never even checked.
Yeah.
So I imagine there's a little bit of Irish in there for sure.
I
Who
did my
knows?
23andMe. I am 99.7 white. I am white as hell. Like I'm
Yeah,
like Mediterranean white and a little bit of like French or like whatever
That's
that
right.
Iberian Peninsula white. Yeah,
yeah, right.
yeah. It's like it's pretty white.
So, anyways, if you want to tell us what kind of white or other
Non-white.
ethnicities that
Yeah,
you are,
pretty
you
still
can
not white.
email us. You can email us at fkathepod@gmail.com. Also, tell us what you're planning on doing for St. Patrick's Day. We want to know. Maybe some other traditions can be started here. If you're doing something good and we like it, then we'll steal it and do it ourselves. All right.
Yeah.
Let us
So,
know if you're Black, Asian, Pacific Islander, Middle Eastern, and if you're white, let us know if you're Hispanic on that as well.
sure, yeah, he's got
And
it figured out. He's
that
got it figured out.
disabilities, but you can answer no comment.
But
We're not
anyways, you
allowed
can
to ask
also
about your marital status or anything, but if you want to let us know, you can let us know.
you can you can follow us anywhere at FKA the pod. That's X, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, the other ones.
You
YouTube,
got
that's the
thread.
big one now, right? We
Yeah.
have one of those. But anyways,
YouTube.
thanks again for listening, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you for listening to the FKA podcast and follow us on Twitter at FKA the Pod.